Top 7 tips to make your home fall-proof after 60. What if the home you've lived in for decades, the place you feel safest, suddenly became your biggest danger? It might sound surprising, but for adults over 65, the majority of serious falls don't happen outdoors on icy sidewalks or in crowded stores. They happen right at home, in familiar rooms, on familiar floors, during ordinary, everyday moments. Let me share a story with you. Margaret, a lively 68-year-old, wakes up one morning feeling energetic. She's retired now, but she fills her days with gardening, reading her favorite novels, and visiting with friends. On this particular morning, she makes a pot of coffee, savoring the rich aroma. She laughs while chatting with her daughter on the phone, planning their next family dinner. Everything feels perfectly normal, coffee in hand. She heads toward the living room to grab a book. But as she turns the corner, her foot catches the edge of a rug, and down she goes. The mug shatters, coffee splashes across the floor, and Margaret's heart pounds as she lies there, stunned. Thankfully, she isn't badly hurt, just shaken with a sore knee and a new unsettling thought. What if it had been worse? And that's the truth many families face. A single fall can mean broken bones, hospital stays, weeks of recovery, and for some, a permanent loss of independence. Falls are actually the leading cause of injury for adults over 65. But here's the hopeful part. Most of these falls can be prevented. You don't need to turn your home into a hospital or strip it of its comfort. With a few thoughtful changes, you can create a safe, secure environment that still feels like home. So in today's video, we'll walk through 7 powerful tips to make your home fall-proof. We'll keep following Margaret's story to show exactly how each tip makes a difference. By the end, you'll have a clear plan, and the peace of mind that comes from knowing your home is not just cozy, but safe. Tip 1. Clear the pathways. When Margaret fell, her daughter immediately noticed something: the clutter. There were stacks of magazines by the couch, shoes left in the middle of the hallway, and even a charging cord stretched across the floor. Each small obstacle on its own wasn't a big deal, but together they created a real hazard. Margaret hadn't meant to be careless. She simply hadn't thought about how these everyday items could turn a familiar path into a risky one. That moment was a wake-up call. Tip number 1, clear the pathways. Take a good look around your home. Walk through each room as if you were seeing it for the first time. Move cords out of walking areas, put shoes in closets or racks, and keep surfaces and floors free of piles and obstacles. Think of your hallways and living spaces like airplane aisles. Smooth, open, and easy to navigate. The less you have to step over, dodge, or weave around, the safer you are. For Margaret, simply clearing the clutter made a dramatic difference. She could move freely again, with confidence, knowing her home was no longer setting her up for another fall. Tip 2. Light up every room. After Margaret's fall, it didn't take long for her and her daughter to realize another hidden hazard in her home: lighting. Her hallways were dim in the early morning, the bathroom had shadows creeping into corners, and even her living room lamps didn't fully illuminate the pathways. On that fateful morning, the sun hadn't fully risen, and the edges of rugs and cords were partially hidden in shadow. Margaret didn't notice the rug until it was too late. A reminder that poor lighting can turn familiar spaces into danger zones in an instant. This isn't unusual. Many older adults live in homes where lighting hasn't been updated in years. Even minor issues, a flickering bulb, a shadowed corner, or a dim hallway, can dramatically increase the risk of falls. Our eyes and reflexes change with age, making it harder to judge distances or spot obstacles in low light. Tip number 2. Light up every room. Start by walking through your home at different times of day and night, paying close attention to areas where shadows form. Make sure every corner has sufficient illumination. Replace dim bulbs with brighter ones in living spaces and add lamps or wall-mounted lights in dark areas. Install night lights in bedrooms, hallways, and bathrooms to guide your way during nighttime trips. Motion sensor lights are also a great investment for spaces you pass through frequently when your hands might be full or your attention is elsewhere. For Margaret, these changes were transformative. A soft nightlight near her bedroom, brighter hallway lighting, and motion sensor lights in the bathroom gave her confidence. She could navigate her home safely at any hour, without hesitation or fear of tripping. Think of it this way: shadows hide danger. Proper lighting doesn't just illuminate your home, it illuminates your sense of safety, giving you the freedom to move confidently through every room, morning or night, without worry. In Margaret's case, brighter, thoughtful lighting turned her home from a potential hazard into a safe, welcoming space she could enjoy without fear. Tip 3. Secure rugs and carpets. After Margaret's fall, she and her daughter began carefully inspecting her home to identify hidden hazards. One detail immediately caught their attention: the area rugs. Margaret loved her rugs. They brought color, warmth, and personality to her living room, hallway, and bedroom. But what looked inviting also hid a danger. Many of her rugs slid easily on the smooth hardwood floors, creating invisible traps that could catch a foot unexpectedly. That morning, it was one of those rugs that caught her foot. A momentary slip, thankfully without serious injury, but a stark reminder of how quickly a fall can happen. Margaret realized something important. Even the things we cherish most in our homes, items that make a house feel cozy and familiar, can become hazards if they aren't properly secured. Tip number 3, secure rugs and carpets. Start by walking through your home and examining every rug, mat, or carpet. Pay special attention to high-traffic areas like hallways, kitchens, bathrooms, and living spaces. Small throw rugs that move easily are the riskiest. Consider removing them altogether. For larger area rugs, anchor them with non-slip pads, double-sided carpet tape, or rubber backing to ensure they stay in place. Check that all corners lie flat and edges do not curl. Even a slight fold can catch a toe and cause a fall. Rugs aren't the only concern. Think about doormats, bath mats, and even decorative runner rugs. Anything that can slide underfoot can become a hazard, especially for older adults whose balance and reflexes may be slower. For Margaret, addressing these details made a world of difference. She removed a few small, unstable rugs, secured her favorite area rugs with non-slip pads, and made sure all edges were flat. The results were immediate. Walking through her living room, Margaret felt a renewed sense of confidence. She no longer had to tiptoe, carefully lifting each foot to avoid tripping. Her home, once subtly dangerous in ways she hadn't noticed, now felt safe, predictable, and welcoming. Remember, a rug is only as safe as the surface beneath it. Properly securing carpets and mats removes hidden dangers and gives you the freedom to move confidently through your home. For Margaret, this simple adjustment didn't just prevent potential falls. It transformed ordinary rooms into spaces where she could move with ease, peace of mind, and independence. Tip 4. Install grab bars and handrails. As Margaret and her daughter walked through her home after the fall, they began noticing subtle but crucial hazards that had previously gone unnoticed. One of the most concerning areas was her bathroom, a space many people don't think about until it's too late. The floor was smooth and easily slippery when wet. There were no grab bars near the toilet or in the shower, and while Margaret had always prided herself on her independence, she realized how vulnerable she was in moments of imbalance. The stairway presented another risk. Margaret had a single handrail along one side of the stairs, and it wasn't anchored as securely as it should have been. That morning when she slipped on the rug, her first instinct was to reach out for something solid, but there was nothing to grab. That split-second moment of instability could have easily turned into a serious injury, highlighting how even seemingly minor gaps in home safety can have major consequences. Tip number 4. Install grab bars and handrails. Begin with the bathroom, one of the most common places for falls among older adults. Install sturdy grab bars near the toilet, inside and outside the shower or bathtub, and along any areas where slipping is likely. Always ensure they are anchored into wall studs, not just drywall, so they can support full body weight if needed. For stairways, make sure handrails are stable, continuous, and ideally installed on both sides of the stairs. If possible, add anti-slip stair treads or contrasting edge strips to increase visibility and traction. Margaret also learned a valuable lesson about placement. Bars should be positioned at a comfortable height and angle to allow easy reach without straining. In the shower, a horizontal bar gave her a secure grip while stepping in or out, and a vertical bar near the toilet provided support when sitting down or standing up. Even small adjustments like these can drastically reduce the risk of falls. For Margaret, these upgrades were life-changing. She could now move through her bathroom and up and down the stairs with confidence. Tasks that once felt precarious, stepping into the shower, carrying laundry downstairs, became manageable and safe. Importantly, these changes didn't diminish her independence. They enhanced it, giving her the freedom to live comfortably in her own home without constant fear. Remember, falls can happen in an instant, often when you least expect them. Grab bars and handrails act as lifelines, providing stability and security exactly when you need it most. For Margaret, installing them transformed high-risk areas into safe, accessible spaces, allowing her to maintain independence, confidence, and peace of mind in her home. Type E5. Remove tripping hazards. After Margaret and her daughter had addressed rugs, lighting, and grab bars, they realized there was another critical piece to home safety: tripping hazards. Even in homes that look tidy at first glance, everyday objects can silently create dangerous situations. That morning, Margaret's foot had caught the edge of a rug, but as she looked around her home more carefully, she noticed other potential dangers she had never considered. Shoes left near doorways, extension cords stretched across hallways, low coffee tables, and even small decorative items like potted plants or magazine stacks. Falls often happen because of the things we barely notice. A cord stretched across a room, a chair slightly out of place, or a small item left on the floor may seem harmless, but for someone over 65, these can be enough to cause a dangerous stumble. Margaret realized that creating a safer home wasn't just about making a few major changes. It was about attention to detail and being proactive in removing everyday hazards. Tip number 5. Remove tripping hazards. Take a careful walk through every room in your home, from top to bottom. Look at spaces from a new perspective, imagining yourself moving through them with limited mobility or slower reflexes. Identify anything that could catch your foot or block your path. Secure cords along walls or remove them entirely. Keep shoes, bags, and small furniture out of hallways and high-traffic areas. Rearrange furniture so there is a clear, unobstructed path through rooms. Remove small throw rugs or mats that slide easily. Even decorative items like floor lamps, plants, or magazine piles can become hazards. Consider relocating them or placing them in safer spots. For Margaret, this process was both enlightening and empowering. She organized her shoes in a neat rack by the door, repositioned furniture to widen walking paths, and tucked cords safely along baseboards. She even reassessed the placement of her beloved decorative items, ensuring they didn't interfere with her daily movements. Walking through her home now felt different, open, predictable, and safe. Margaret could move confidently without constantly scanning the floor for hidden obstacles or fearing another unexpected stumble. Remember, most falls happen in familiar spaces because we become complacent. Removing tripping hazards is one of the simplest, most effective steps to prevent injuries and restore confidence. For Margaret, clearing pathways didn't just enhance safety, it gave her back a sense of freedom, independence, and peace of mind, transforming her home into a space where she could truly feel secure. Tip 6. Use non-slip surfaces. As Margaret and her daughter continued their journey to make her home safer, they turned their attention to one of the most common and dangerous causes of falls: slippery surfaces. Margaret had always enjoyed long, relaxing showers and took pride in the polished, gleaming look of her bathroom tiles. But that fall made her realize something unsettling. Even the most beautiful, familiar surfaces could suddenly become a trap. Bathrooms, kitchens, laundry rooms, and even entryways. Anywhere water, moisture, or smooth flooring is present can pose hidden dangers. Margaret recalled a day she had hurried to the bathroom before sunrise, her path barely illuminated by a dim nightlight. Her foot slipped slightly on a tile. She caught herself in time, but the moment left a chilling realization. Slippery surfaces are unpredictable. They don't discriminate, and even someone with strong balance can be at risk if the conditions are just slightly off. A small puddle, condensation, or even a stray soap bar on the floor. Tip number 6. Use non-slip surfaces. To create a safer environment, start by evaluating every potentially slippery area in your home. Bathrooms. Place non-slip mats or rugs in the shower, bathtub, and in front of sinks. Ensure they have strong, water-resistant backing that grips the floor firmly. Consider anti-slip decals or adhesive strips on the bathtub and shower floor for extra traction. Kitchens and laundry rooms. Spilled water or slick floors can cause slips in these high-traffic, high-risk areas. Use textured mats near sinks, dishwashers, or laundry tubs. Entryways and hallways. Wet shoes and rainy weather can create hidden hazards. Place absorbent, non-slip mats to prevent slipping as soon as you enter the home, and freedom in her everyday life. Her home became a place where she could move gracefully, live independently, and enjoy the simple joys of daily life without fear. And this is the message for all of you watching today. Creating a fall-proof home isn't about losing independence. It's about gaining freedom, confidence, and peace of mind. Small, deliberate changes make a huge difference. Just like Margaret, you can take control of your environment and make your home a safe, welcoming place to age gracefully. If you found Margaret's story helpful and want more practical advice for seniors, be sure to subscribe to Echoes of Elderly Wisdom. We share tips, stories, and strategies to help you live safely, confidently, and fully at every stage of life. Hit that subscribe button and join our community so you never miss guidance that could protect your home and your independence. Remember, safety is freedom, and every thoughtful adjustment you make today brings peace of mind tomorrow. Let Margaret's story inspire you and take that first step toward a safer, more confident home.